and 3. Let's go. As the room fill up, I hope you're part of the notification gang. Swat up. Let's get it going the best way possible. Appreciate everybody for jumping in. I really, really, really do appreciate that. The appreciation for the nation. We got the conversation that rules the nation. Yeah, we do. Yeah. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. As we proceed to give you what you need. Parsons, yeah. MVP Parsons, right? Rookie of the Year Parsons. Oh, Defensive Player of the Year Parsons. Micah, the Hitman Parsons. The Terminator Parsons. The Lion Parsons. Yeah. Come on, Cowboy Nation. Let's go. Let's continue to grind, to shine. If this is your first time ever tuning in to the nation, don't let this be your last time. Come on. They say there ain't no party like a cowboy party. Yeah. Let's go. What if I told you the Dallas Cowboys are in first place in their respective division? Yep. Come on, Cowboy Nation. Stand to your feet. Get out of that seat. One way or another. Yeah. The grind for your mind. Mama, there go that man again. Yep. Come on. Ain't no party like a cowboy party. Yep. We rollin', we rockin', we grindin'. Yeah. Come on. Hey, ho, come on.
I want this boy.
Yeah. Come on. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, yeah. Appreciate everybody, man, for jumping in. The name is Law Nation. As we began to talk about this, it's already heading into week 15. Oh, week 15. This year going by fast, ain't it? Supersonic, huh? Sonic boom, right? This year went by so quickly. And it seemed just like yesterday that this team drafted Micah Parsons, right? It seemed just like yesterday this team drafted Trayvon Diggs. It seemed just like yesterday this team drafted Dangerous Lamb. It seemed just like yesterday, you know? Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Back-to-back good years of drafting can put you in a position just like this. The guys that's making impact to this team, a Trayvon Diggs, a CeeDee Lamb. And then this year, you see Osa, you see guys like a Parsons doing their thing. Yeah, I see you. It says clinch week. Let's get it. Let's get it, Cowboy Nation. Now, when you look at the titling says rhythm time. Some people can move on the dance floor and not skip a beat, right? And then there are some people that look like they're on the dance floor and they got 2 left feet, right? And as of lately, Cowboy Nation, this offense appears to be on 2 left feet. Shoes with 2 left feet. And they ain't dancing to the beat. But what's humming right now, Cowboy Nation? What's humming? The defense. Oh, my goodness. Did you guys hear the sounds of the sidelines? Did you guys hear the sounds of the sideline? Shout out to you, Natasha. Appreciate you. Patrick Williams, appreciate you. If you are able to type in the chat box, let me see real one, let me know you're a real one. Yeah, bam. I love the real ones. If you are able to chat in the chat box, you are a real one. I'm real, the way you walk, the way you talk. Yeah, I see you, Jay Lombardi. Yolanda Williams, appreciate you. Shout out to you, Browns. Appreciate you, KD. Yeah, appreciate those who ride with the nation, baby. Darian, I see you, baby. All right, shout out to everybody, man. Paul, certified, never denied, real one. I love that one. Cowboy Nation. This defense been humming. Don't you know no good? J-Rock been doing his thing, number 27. He been holding it down for the safety room. Diggs been holding it down. And Anthony Brown, believe it or not, been solid all year. Yeah, we've been thinking of ways like, how can we get rid of this brother to put in somebody else, right? But it just been working for us so far. I get it. We do have areas where we need to improve on, right? But the sounds of the sideline, the reinforcements are coming. Lord, the reinforcements are coming. Bring it. We right here, and we ain't going anywhere. Did y'all get a chance to see Navell Gallimore, the Canadian, not Bacon, the Canadian monster? And just right, Thomas. Hey, Garrett. He picked up one guy, the center, 69, and pushed him through and dropped him off on number 4. Both guys got hurt. The Canadian monster. Had to ask the kids, are you in bed? Because when you see that, woo, it's crazy. Yeah, Big Bama, appreciate you. Yeah, Bama boys all day. Shout out to JSU, right? Shout out to JSU. Y'all better be mindful of what JSU is doing this year. You know what I'm saying? Last year. Now it's head into a new year. Woo! Dropped them in his lap, KD. Yeah. Also, Cowboy Nation, Parsons. Let me hit that button once again. You got dogs too? The trifectas. Randy Gregory is a character, Cowboy Nation. I love it. 6'5.5", fluid. That shoulder blade can bend her off that edge. He batted that ball in the air and he said, hey, I didn't know which way it was going, but I had a beacon device and I was able to pull it in. Crazy. And then when you think of DeMarcus, Tank. Not even D-Law, Tank. Of what he doing too, Cowboy Nation. Setting the edge, getting off, bending. Oh. One-on-one with me? Okay. Hold up, we reloaded. Yeah. We are reloaded. And I'm loving it. Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, Yolanda. We loving it, baby. And you think about when you have your front four playing well, the way they exhibit and exude out there, there's no other option but for LVA to step up. And there's no other option for that. You know what I'm saying? But for him. Da 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 da. Y'all put it. I'm loving it, baby. Tank looking bigger. Just made Lance Bell. Shout out to you. Shout out to you, Bell. Shh. He's like, bring it. And then you have your other contemporaries to step up. Bashams of the world, right? Dorrance, D.A., Armstrong, cognitive, cerebral enough to scoop the ball up and take it all the way to the house. So what do you think? When we face a team like the New York Giants, they're 4-9, 28th overall as a collective, 29th in offense, and 26th on the defensive side of the coin. And they have a slew of injuries that occurred their way. Special teams, 31st. Show of hands that's in the chat right now, Cowboy Nation. That should we show mercy? Should we give the opposition life, not liberty? The answer is I'm going to go ahead and tell you is no. No mercy. What that dude said when he went to deliver the message from the Persian army to the Spartan warriors. And he said, hey, the Persian king would like for you to bow down. Persian king wants your land, your women, your resources. And he was just the messenger. And oh boy, one of the famous clips of all time. He said, hold on. This is madness. I'm just a messenger. I'm supposed to be the middleman. Anything that happened to me is a direct reflection of what we're going to do to you. Because I'm supposed to be in the middle of it, into the thick of it, right? And he looked at him, and then he turned to his wife. And she said, and then that's when he said,
"This is Sparta!"
That was him yelling as he fall down the bottomless pit, you know? It's no mercy, baby. This is Sparta. 300, yeah. Shout out to all of my people, man. Carl, appreciate you. James, thank you. Yeah, we're going to run it up. No mercy. We're not sleeping on nobody, baby. We got to get in rhythm. We got to get on the same page. What happened to this team on the offensive side of the coin? Teams figured it out. They said, you know what? When you look at it and you dive deep into the film. Shout out to you, Vincent. When you dive deep into the film, they said no longer. We sell out on stopping the run, where we load the box, keep the single high safety on top, and we dare Dak Prescott to beat us. They flipped it. Think about it. Go back and watch all of the tape. They flipped it. Shout out to the Denver. Shout out to even the Saints. Shout out to everybody. They kind of pretty much laid out, not the saying that it's the blueprint, but they said 2 tears in the bucket. The Atlanta Falcons tried it, but they couldn't really stop it. But 2 tears in a bucket. We're not going to blitz rain Dakota Prescott. We're not going to load the box and keep it one-on-one to the outside. We're going to play quarters. We're going to play halves. We're going to do this right here. We're going to dare them to run it. That's what happened when you go back and look at the tape. And I tell people right now, when you can stop the run and pass defense, and when you can stop the pass without blitzing, and you just play your base, it's going to be a long night. They give you the run, and the Cowboys refuse to take it. Go back and watch the tape. Light body boxes, and we can't get no rushing yards out of it, or we're not disciplined enough to take advantages of the situation. If you think I'm lying, C.D. Lamb averaged 7.5 yards per carry last game on the edges. Old folks say the new broom can sweep the floor good, but that old broom can get those corners. And we refuse to take the corners. When have it ever been that you play quads against Ezekiel Elliott, against this team? But we're going to have to figure this out. So we got to get in rhythm. We have to play a game or a style of football where we do the dictations for the nation. We get them up out of that, you know. And Rain Dakota Prescott, he got to get in rhythm. Only one person that I can see on the offensive side of the coin that's privy to getting rest is Ezekiel Elliott. Now, they said he was a full participant in practice. He going to wear his knee brace. We getting full bodies back. Donovan Wilson was at practice. The only people that missed practice today was Tyron Smith and Tony Pollard. That means that, hey, we getting things back. The good graces. I think Jarwin is still out, Cowboy Nation. He's still on that weird list. So we ain't getting Jarwin back, you know. Shout out to you, Stephen White. So we're in this pickle, but I don't want you guys to run when you hear this. I don't want you guys to do that. No. And even if they do, shoot, what are you stand firm? They missed anyway. We on a 2-game spree, baby. 2 games in a row. They don't say, well, you know, there was 2 ugly games. No, it's just 2 games in a row. Jay Versick, appreciate you. I'm waiting on my AI. She needs some virtual coffee. No, she still ain't there. Shout out to you, T.A. Jones. That's my guy, my brother from another mother.
Law, it's time we slay the Giants, wipe out Washington, shoot down the Cardinals, and last but not least blow up THRM half-head birds. Don't they know the eagle belongs to America and we are that team?
Man, my goodness. Pollard was at practice today. Shout out to you, George. I don't think he's going to play, though, still. If he was at practice today, I got some wrong information. Jarwin coming back soon. Yeah, lead foot. Appreciate you, 97. Appreciate you. We should, but, you know, another week. I feel you. Man, I don't understand why we don't increase Clement's carries. I think that he's going to get another dose of carries this week. But before we go into listening in to the mighty Troy Aikman, because normally on Wednesdays we listen to Troy Aikman and the playmaker Michael Irvin. You know, Troy's going to give you guys the analytical full throttle. He's going to give you objective analysis and all of that good stuff. So I can't wait to hear Troy. Clements do look explosive. He can catch out of the backfield. He got soft hands. One cut, go get upfield. He's 220, 5'9", 5'10"-ish. But we got to get in rhythm now. We put it like this. We must get in rhythm now, right? We must. Tripp says Dak still hurt. Calf take longer than you think. Yeah, he could be battling through something. Yeah. But my thing is, I think it's not that he's hurt, because if you look back at the Atlanta's game, if you look back at the Raiders game, there was no issue with that calf then, right? So we just got to take that at the grass level of thinking of football. That is a mental warfare, mental mindset. And when you look back at the tape multiple times, shoot, wasn't nothing hurt about that pass. Just got to make better decisions. Can't stop his feet. Just got to go through his progressions. And that is when coaching step up. That's when coaches get in the ear and say, okay, go back to the principles. Go back to the rudiments. Go back to the philosophy of what got you here. Don't overanalyze the situation. Mentally hurt. Well, that I'm going to let pass, right? We're going to let that one pass. That mental mindset, baby. There's a whole bunch of things to do with mentality. Goes a long way.
Hey, I'm doing good. Good morning, guys.
Well, thanks for spending some time with a couple of spares like us. We definitely appreciate it. So let's start with the Cowboys, because there's been so much talk about, it's great to see the defense win a couple of road games, but the offense has been out of sorts for a while now. Just from your view, what is troubling Dak Prescott in this offense?
Oh, it's hard to tell. It really is. I think offensive football is really about momentum and confidence and tempo, and that can leave you. And it's left this offense. Some of it, of course, has to do with who you play, but
big facts.
I also know that it can come back pretty quickly, and I've experienced that. So I think I know everyone's concerned right now with Dak or what's happening with the offense. It's not as explosive as what we saw earlier in the season, and that's true. But I think that from a bigger picture, I like what I've seen from the defense and the fact that they've been able to keep the offense in some games that otherwise, maybe they wouldn't have been able to do that. So that's been a good sign, and I really believe that the offense is going to still get it going. I mean, they're going to have to. They're going to have more offense than what they've shown in some games. But that's why I keep saying when I go back to this team, there's been times when the offense has looked pretty good. The defense has struggled. And then the other weeks, like what happened on Sunday, we see the defense play great and the offense not so much. I just don't feel like this team has yet played a complete game. So an optimist would say that's really good. And I still like this team. I still like Dak and what they have on offense. And I'm probably less concerned than maybe a lot of other people are.
Sticking with the offense, how
before Troy go into more details and they ask him another questioning there, I think we played probably a complete game 3 times this year. 3 times. And let me know, Cowboy Nation, if you guys defer. Matter of fact, 3.5. The Panthers game, the Giants game, the Eagles game. That's 3 right there. Bull sugar with myself. 4, the Atlanta Falcons game. I think we played a complete game in that one, right? Got to, look at the score. Atlanta Falcons game, right? I think that what Troy is alluding to is just prolific levels of like complete. The New England, there was some boneheadedness to the New England game, but we prevail, right? I wouldn't say the Chargers game all the way. Chargers game was balanced, though. Chargers game was balanced. Let's go back to what you said right here, Sour Glue. I'll give you a little bit on the Bucs game. Only the reason why we didn't play a complete game in that Bucs game is we didn't run the ball just enough, right? But the most balanced game, if you want to go there, it could be the Chargers game. I can tell you this. Our opening drive on the Chargers game, if you go back and look at that, that was our best of all this year. Go back and watch the opening drive. I think we scored on that one, right? That was when they utilized Tony and Ezekiel Elliott, and they got all the way into the red zone, and they scored on their opening drive. If we play like that every week on the opening, go back and watch the opening drive of the Chargers. That was our most complete as it relates to the opening drive. That was a better one. Yeah.
Difficult as a quarterback is it to adjust to the changes that happen midseason with what defenses are generally doing? Because early in the year, Dak was facing a lot of blitzes and he was beating it, getting a lot of one-on-one coverages on the outside. Now it feels like a lot of defenses are playing a lot of zone, too high safety, and it feels like he's having a tough time making the reads that he was making earlier in this season. Do you feel like that? How tough as a quarterback is that to adjust midstream?
It's not. I think for some teams, for instance, we have Kansas City Thursday night, and we've had them a couple of other times this year. In fact, we had them against Dallas, and some of the questions become, if they take away the big plays down the field, how difficult then is that to be patient? And it's not. But I think that, there's some discipline that's involved in that, and I feel like Dak has shown that part of it. It's just sometimes I don't know. First of all, I don't know how healthy Dak is. I mean, that could be a factor in this, and I'm not sure he would ever say anything to anybody. So it's probably going to be one of those situations where you go through the whole year and may not ever know if there's something that's been bothering him until the off season. But I also know, taking injury out of the way, that sometimes you go through a little stretch as a quarterback where you just don't see the defense quite as well. I think that's what happened on the interception. Everybody says, gosh, how do you make that throw?
Right.
The one that was returned for a touchdown, and it's simply because you either don't see the guy or you think you can navigate the defender with the throw, and you were wrong on both accounts. So I think as far as the way that Dallas has been played, I think that's the smart way to play it. I think in today's NFL, and really even going back for years and years and years, that you can't give up big plays, and Dallas obviously has big play ability, so you take those away as best you can, make a team drive the distance and the length of the field, and can they mess up on a third down and the defense get off the field? So that's been kind of the approach. Dallas has really the luxury of both worlds, although we've not really seen it quite as much. Haven't been able to get Zeke going the way that they would like. Haven't been able to run the football overall the way that they would prefer when teams play some of those coverages. But I'm still, like I said, I'm still optimistic about this team.
Yeah, Troy, you mentioned the comfortability of having Zeke and not being able to get him going so far, it seems like, this year. When there is a situation where clearly something's bugging him and the team is saying, it's bugging him, but he can play through it, but what we're seeing with the limited reps that he's getting, it's clearly probably a bigger deal than they'll make of it. When a quarterback doesn't have that reliability to be able to just hand it off to a all-star running back, what does that do for the mindset of a quarterback, having to rely on other options and just not having that safety net, especially when you're going through a slump like Dak is?
Yeah, the running game obviously helps. It clearly is a quarterback's friend.
I want me some glory hole.
Marcus, come on, man. Appreciate you for the donation there. Appreciate you.
I want me some glory hole.
Boy, you crazy.
Nobody knows that better than I do, having played alongside Emmitt Smith for as long as I did, and our ability to run the football. I think it's something that Dak, like myself, you get accustomed to since he came into the league. That's something that they've been able to do, and Zeke hasn't been quite the same. And I I said it during our broadcast last time we had Dallas. I'm a big fan of Zeke's. I love the way he plays. I love the way he's a team player. His teammates love him. He'll do anything he can to play, and I think that's becoming less and less the norm around the league now. That players are willing to play through ailments, and I also know that medical staff. So if there was a risk of him playing and furthering damage to whatever he has that bothers him. And that's assuming there's something that is. I mean, and the eye test says that the knee's giving him some issues, but I just don't think they'd put him on the field if they felt that they were risking further injury. So I'm not as much concerned about that. To go back to
But to stop Troy right here, I think that is different from the coaches that was in the 90s juxtaposed to the coaches now. Coaches now are more docile, right? They are in fear if they stand up to Ezekiel Elliott. I recall earlier last week when they said, okay, who's going to tell him that he's not going to put on his pads and run out there? Who's going to tell him? And I said, excuse me, you're supposed to be the coach. Coach should be able to tell the player, hey, man, you're going to have to sit these weeks out so that you can be ready for the long run. Running now will not save you. I get it. You want to be a warrior, but we need you down the line. Now, the running game is crucial. I talked in the last episode that we talked about this. You play good defense and you run the rock. Shoo. That's how you win the chips. Defense win championships, but when you run in the rock, it's demoralizing. Law, do you have any history on that? Well, ask John Elway how many Super Bowls he got without TD. You know what I'm saying? Ask Brett Favre, what he looked like without Dorsey Levens, right? Oh, excuse me. Ask Troy, the man that's talking right now. Without a big moves and Emmitt Smith. People fail to realize that, you got to run the rock. The best thrower of the ball that we've seen in this past decade, Patrick Mahomes. What was that kid name that we talked about? I'm echoing what I said in the other video. Last name, Williams. Ran it the year. And I'm going to give kudos just this one more time. To the 2017 Eagles. They had 3 running backs. People say fly, Eagles, fly. No. They was run, Eagles, run. Damien, appreciate you, Cole. So, and people fail to realize, the quarterbacks that you guys say that are elite, they don't have that many Super Bowls like you guys lamented. They don't have all of those Super Bowls. Aaron Rodgers, 1 Super Bowl. 1 elite quarterback. I know somebody will cut off their right arm right now for Aaron, right? And give up a pinky toe. 1 ring. 1 more than Tony Romo, right? Peyton Manning, 1 Super Bowl. He had to buy the other one. He had to pay off some people so he can get 2 of them, right? He had to get all types of defense. Y'all remember that? We was like, Denver signed another player. Where they get the money? Shoot. Because they couldn't let the history book speak of Eli with 2 rings and Peyton Manning with only 1. I can't make this stuff up. Can you imagine a world that if Eli, let's say, for example, if they didn't maneuver or move all of that stuff around for Peyton Manning, and Eli would have had 2 rings and Peyton Manning would have only had 1. You couldn't write the history good for the NFL. So they had to make it that they got even Super Bowls, you know, the Manning brothers. And Archie was sitting there like, yeah, you know, both of my boys got a ring. And watch. Hear me out. The other little one, I don't know which son he is of. The nephew Manning, I'm just call him Nephew Manning. When he get into the league, woo, he's going to blaze everything. He's going to be the second coming. Or the third or fourth coming, you know, of the great quarterback. I forgot his name. Y'all know that that other Manning? I think he's in high school somewhere. That boy, he got a cannon for an arm. Wouldn't set the universe right. Brad Johnson, Trent Dilfer with rings.
Yeah, if you're struggling as a quarterback and then you're not able to run the ball and pick up first downs, and you throw it and you're incomplete, you run it on second down, it doesn't go for much. Now it's 3rd and 8. I mean, it doesn't help, of course, for a quarterback, that's for sure.
Troy Aikman joining
Giants
us here
Jerome,
on the ticket.
baby.
And so last night, Monday Night Football saw the Rams go into Arizona. They were missing 4 starters because of COVID. They get a big win over the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray made some bad throws in that game and then made the mistake of not clocking it in the final seconds. Obviously, you know, that keeps the Rams one game back in that division. That tightens things up at the top of the NFC. What was your big takeaway from last night's win? Was it Kyler Murray struggling, or Matthew Stafford and the Rams picking up maybe their best win of the season?
Yeah, it was really more on the Rams side of things. I know that when the Cardinals went into SoFi Stadium earlier in the season, I think they really got the Rams' attention. The Rams had been able to beat the Cardinals here over the last several years, and no one really knew then whether or not the Cardinals were for real or just how good they were. At the time, they were undefeated.
Right.
And so this game was really important within the division. You see that a lot. It's a little bit. It's like the Cowboys-Washington game on Sunday, and that's why I really expected to see more out of Washington, even though they made a rally late in the game. They really did not do a whole lot on the offensive side of the ball.
Big facts.
And so I expected the Rams to come out and play well. Then you hear all of a sudden that these key players, weren't going to be playing in the game, and just how well were they going to be able to respond to that. So to me, it showed more about what the Rams' pedigree is than anything else. I think they're a really good team. I think they're really well coached. I have a lot of respect for Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford as well, and a number of other people that are within that organization. So it's what I expected, and they were able to come out and do it. And now they're right back in the hunt for not just the division, but also
Appreciate you, Scott.
With playoff seeding and everything else. So it was a really big win for them on a. You know, it's hard. It's hard to go on the road and win. It's especially hard to go on the road and win in a primetime game in that kind of atmosphere. So that was a great win for them.
Two great.
Yeah, before they play anything else, shout out to you, Scott. D-Hop is out for the regular season. I've heard of that news. I read of that news. They still got A.J. Green. They got Rondale Moore, and they got Christian Kirk. They got those guys, and when we faced them, I don't want nobody to discount anything. I don't care if it's double check. I don't want nobody. And they got what's the tight end name over there in the Cardinals land now? He used to play for the Eagles. They got the tight end still. So I don't want no Cardinals Jerome to be like, well, we missing DeAndre Hopkins. It's good, because now what we're going to do is we're going to roll my guy Trayvon Diggs on Green, right? And then my guy Anthony Brown, he's going to play Christian, right? Jordan Lewis, he's going to have to spy and hold up the best way he can on Rondale Moore. I think that's how you say that man's name, right? So we're going to have to do those things. Zach Ertz, shout out to you, King. Appreciate you. Let's go.
Quarterbacks last night. Thursday night, you're going to call 2 more with Patrick Mahomes and Herbert with the Chargers. I know you've called some marquee games throughout the year. How much are you looking forward to this one, just from the quarterback perspective?
Well, I'm really excited about it because I don't get a chance to. We've seen more of Mahomes. Like I said, this will be the third Chiefs game that I've called, but it's the first Chargers game. So we saw Herbert last year as a rookie, and to get to see him again, he's playing really well. He had a great rookie season last year. He's coming off a heck of a game on Sunday. And this is another game, a divisional game, much like the Rams-Cardinals last night, that's huge. Chargers beat them earlier in the season. So, there's a lot there as far as what happens within the division, depending on who wins. But, yeah, I always look forward to having games like this, that there's a lot on the line. And then when you've got quarterbacks, marquee quarterbacks like what we have, is even that much nicer. And I think that, there's a lot of really talented young quarterbacks in the league right now. I think we're in really good hands. But I think you didn't ask this, but I think that with Justin Herbert, here he is in his second season. I think most people watched a few games of his last year and said, this guy's a franchise quarterback. And I think the same with Joe Burrow. And then there's other young quarterbacks who struggle, and for 3 years we're saying, well, they're still young, they still have a lot to learn. I just think that that's a position where, not that they necessarily play great, but I think you can. Right. I think this idea that you can't figure out. I'm not saying within a couple games, but I'm saying that you don't have to wait a few years to determine whether or not what you have is someone who's going to be special. And I think most people who, even non-football people that watched Justin Herbert last year, pretty early in his career, realized that this guy's going to be something really special, and he's proven that. And we saw that from Patrick Mahomes his first year to start. And so I'm excited about the matchup, and that these two young players will be facing each other within that AFC West division for quite some time.
Hall of Famer and Fox 8 teamer Troy Aikman joining us here on the ticket. Troy, I want to go back to the Cowboys for just a second.
Yeah, go back to the Cowboys.
Quarterback talent.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about some young.
Before we go into Cowboys, shout out to Sheila Neal, and we got Jay Lombardi and we got Voch Lombardi in the house, man. Be sure to check out my brother from another mother, Voch Lombardi, who keep the party. Check out his YouTube page, man, and his content. Guy's second to none as it relates to the content with the Cowboys on film assessments and beyond. So be sure to check out his content. Shout out to you always, lady, Dwight Davis. Appreciate you. And Mark, I see you. Aloha. Appreciate you.
Defensive linebacker talent, and more specifically, Micah Parsons. Everybody's very hyped on him here in Dallas. It seems like that's kind of spread a little bit more across the NFL right now. He's absolutely tearing it up his rookie season. Is he the real deal from your broadcaster perspective, or is this just hype from being in the Dallas market?
Jeez.
No, he's the real deal. I mean, he has unique skills, and I talked about it during our last game that it's one thing to be fast for a linebacker, but he's fast for anyone on the field, and he's as fast as anyone that's playing, wide receivers or corners, and so when you have that kind of size and the instincts that he has and the speed that he has, it's just a rare combination. Now I'll go back to training camp.
Mm-hmm.
When I heard him interviewed for the first time, I immediately was drawn to him, and I liked him, and you could just tell that this was a really talented player, young player, that just wanted to do everything he could to help the team. And those guys are hard to find, and they're becoming harder to find, guys who really do just want to win. And I think Dallas, I think Trayvon Diggs is one of those guys. I think Micah Parsons is one. Prescott, Zeke Elliott. When you're talking about the best players on your team, that all they want to do is go win football games, you're going to win a lot of games. And they're going to bring a lot of people along with them that maybe don't have the same agenda as you do when the team comes first. So I think he's a really unselfish player. He will play anywhere he's asked to play. It's not about stats with him. It's just whatever he can do to help the team. Not one time have you ever heard him complain about anything. And I love his infectious personality and how much he just loves to play. I think I finally got a chance to meet him on the field before one of our games, and I don't take pictures with many players, but I did with him. I think he's an absolute superstar. And I hope he never changes, and I doubt that he will. He was raised well, and I'm a huge fan of his, as you can tell.
There's so much hyperbole out there. How fair or unfair do you think the Lawrence Taylor comparisons are to Micah Parsons?
Before he talk about the LT comparison situation, I just want y'all to know, if you watch Sounds of the Sideline, that brother is competitive. He's told CD, hey, I can get you. I can get you. I can get you. You know what I mean? So I love that mindset. I love that mentality because it's so contagious. And they're going to do something during the off season, but they're not going to do it now. I love it.
Well, I think we live in a world where we're always trying to compare a player to somebody else, and I think it just helps kind of put that player, the modern player, into better perspective. But when I said about quarterbacks that you can tell pretty early as to whether or not they're going to be special, I think you can say that about all positions, and there's no question that Micah Parsons is going to be special. Is he going to be as special as Lawrence Taylor? He could be, but I think that comparison might be a little unfair just right now to Lawrence Taylor. But he certainly has that kind of game-changing ability and impact, and to have that on the defensive side of the ball is unusual. There just hasn't been a lot of those type of guys, and like I said, the Cowboys have a couple of them, with him. And what Trayvon Diggs has been able to do. You don't see corners with those kinds of skills either.
Troy, I want to turn our attention to the offensive line quickly because Tyron Smith out with the ankle, and then one of the things I wanted to ask you about was the La'el Collins situation. From a quarterback perspective, in your eyes, seeing your offensive linemen stand up for you like that, good, bad, because it may risk suspension, or how do you feel about that situation?
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of restraint comes about, or lack of, when it's your quarterback. If you really care about the guy who's quarterbacking your team, and I've known from day one, when Dak Prescott took over his rookie year, he had only been the starter for a few games, and the linemen came out and talked about how much they loved playing for him, which I thought spoke volumes for him as a young man and as a player, and his commitment to that football team, and it's continued. He's a beloved figure within the locker room on both sides of the ball, so I wasn't surprised by it. I think that, you walk a fine line, I think, as an offensive lineman or as a teammate when you're trying to come to a player's defense and protect your quarterback. But you'd much rather see that than I think offensive linemen or players kind of non-committal on the quarterback, or when he takes a shot that they deem that's unfair. So I was all for it. I've had it happen to me. I remember my rookie year against Philadelphia, Kevin Gogan. He did the old rope-de-dope against the Philadelphia Eagles. They hit me late. And I know that, and that was when he and I were still kind of just forging our relationship too. But I know what it meant to me, and I know that it made Dak feel good as well.
Yeah. Well, Troy, I know you got a big one Thursday night with the Chiefs and Chargers, and forgive me, I haven't seen a broadcast schedule yet. What's your assignment this weekend, if there is one?
Yeah, we have a game. We were off this past weekend, which was nice. We'd gone pretty hard there over the month of November, but so this weekend we have the Packers at Baltimore, and Baltimore are a little banged up with Lamar Jackson. Not sure whether or not he's going to play, but it's a fun time of the year, as you guys know. We're starting to move in. The 17th game, certainly adds a little bit more to the intrigue, and then of course with the extra playoff game that we saw last year. But I think we're moving into the time of year that's fun for all football fans, and seeing how this whole thing shakes out, because I think there's still a lot of teams you could point to and say, yeah, they could get hot, and they're good enough that they could do some things that other teams have done when they've gotten hot at the right time, like Tampa last year.
Troy, it's awesome to talk to you as always. We'll be viewing Thursday and Sunday, and I look forward to talking to you again next Tuesday.
That's good. That's the mighty Troy. What a wonderful, and I mean just that, wonderful interview with Troy Aikman from 1310 The Ticket. Be sure to check out 1310 The Ticket once this video is posted or completed. Then we'll share the link with you guys so you can check out 1310 The Ticket. If not, just go to 1310theticket.com and you can listen to the full podcast there. Cowboy Nation, some of the things that I picked up from what Troy had to say is that when the offensive line is fighting for you, you get an extra girth. You grow bigger, you get wider with it, as far as your mentality and your mindset to get that extra yard. Who knows? You get your mindset together because this guy's fighting and battling for you, and it goes a long way. And that is what Troy Aikman lamented his rookie year with Kevin Gogan, willing to go toe-to-toe for him. And I believe Dak Prescott came out, it could have been today or yesterday, and said, I will pay. I will pay for whatever fine they bring forth or bring to my guy, La'el Collins. So that goes a long way, Cowboy Nation. It do. Flat out do. So it's one of those things whereas we going to look into this situation and say to ourselves, Cowboy Nation, how do we bounce back and get into rhythm? The number one deal will be this right here, Cowboy Nation. The front five. The game is won and lost down in the trenches. Let me repeat, the game is won and lost down in the trenches. Front five get their act together. The running game get his act together. Dak Prescott can feed off of that. Play action. Look, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3, whole lot easier than 3rd and 7, 3rd and 9. Whole lot easier. Shout out to you, Junior. Lance Bell, appreciate you. So those are the things that we must do to get back on the same page. Old folks say singing from the same hymnal. We got to get on the same page one way or another. Next, we're going to listen to, and I always do this, I say this every Wednesday. You listen to Troy, right? He's going to be the analytical guy. He's going to be in the corner with you, and then he's going to speak outside of the box, right, with different analysis and analogies. Shout out to you, Darryl. Appreciate you, Thorpe. Thank you for the $5. And shout out to you, Simpkins, as well, for donating. Remember, they didn't fight for Dalton last year. Yeah, I agree. You didn't fight for him. And appreciate you guys for those super chat. Appreciate you. Last week, we did the same flavor. We let Troy talk, and now we finna let the playmaker. Shout out to 105. Let's go.
With, I don't know, got to be our favorite guest, right? We got Jerry.
Let me know if y'all can hear it.
I would say his favorite.
Playmaker?
Yeah.
Got to be the playmaker.
Got to be.
Michael Irvin every single hump day.
Hump day!
At this time on DFW Sports Station. He's an Odyssey NFL insider, and Insider Calls are presented by BetQL. Smarter bets start with BetQL. Download the BetQL app or visit BetQL.com today. And we'll get Michael to respond to Jimmy Johnson, Michael's former coach, on FS1 yesterday talking about Dak.
His strength. His number one strength is he is a great leader for that football team. And what's happened with Dak, he can win you a championship if you got really good players around him. And they've had some injuries with the running game. They're not running the football as well as they did, a year ago or before Dak got injured. And when they're running the football, those play action passes, Dak is really good. A little play action. 1, 2, throw it and get rid of it.
Yep.
But when he's got to drop back and start reading the whole field and make decisions about where he's throwing the football, and the defense, they're not slowing down for the run because the running game has been injured. The defense, they're rushing the passer. They're putting pressure on him to make a decision right away. He's not near as good. So he can win you a championship, but you better get the running game back.
All right, so before the playmaker, this is my first time hearing that audio, so I didn't get a chance to listen to this at all. But I got a homework assignment for everybody. I got a homework assignment. And I'm not finna fight Jimmy Johnson. But name me the quarterback that did it all by himself without great players around him. I want to know. I need to know that answer, Cowboy Nation. Who was the quarterback that won it without great players around him or surrounding him? Let me know, Cowboy Nation. I need to know, because what he just said, and I'm not saying that it contradicts itself, but what he just said is that Dak Prescott can't win it by himself, of course. I think that's the answer for all quarterbacks, not just some. Joshua Woods says, let's go, Cowboys. SB Bound, smash that like button. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Smash that like button, Cowboy Nation. Kenny says, Tom Brady. What year did Tom Brady won the Super Bowl? All by himself. I don't think that's the right answer, though, And last year they were loaded. Oh, my God, Brian. You don't know who Ty Law was, right? You didn't know where that defense. You said Tom Brady in his beginning of his career. Oh, no. Go and Google. Just look up the Patriots' first 3 Super Bowls. King says Brad Johnson. There's nobody. It's I kid you not. It's a complete team. It's a complete team. Brett Favre. Put it like this. If Dorsey Levens didn't play on that team and Desmond Howard didn't play on that team, Drew Bledsoe would have won that Super Bowl, baby.
Good morning, Michael. What do you think of your coach Jimmy Johnson's Dak comments and Jerry telling us yesterday that you can call this right now a Dak Prescott slump?
Sean, listen. Because, wait, listen. This is you and RJ. I'm out here fighting these monsters and trying to keep these monsters at bay the best I can so they don't reach
Come on, man. Steve Young had Jerry Rice. And I'm not finna go over that defense they had, too. Ooh-wee. Come on. Look. We just going to hush it, because the moment y'all continue to start name dropping. Come on, Cowboy Nation. The answer is absolutely none. It's none. You don't even make it to the big stage without your weapons. You don't. You just don't even make it there.
The main operating function of the players. I'm trying. Stephen A. called me out on it. Stephen A. said, you know what? You ain't going to be sitting up here on my show trying to coach from that chair. I said, what are you talking about? He told me, you think you slick. You up here, you be trying to send messages to the locker room from this show. Yeah. He ain't never lied. I was like, wait a minute. And so to y'all, I got to stop it. So now when you guys keep doing these interviews, Jerry comes on. Jerry's trying to explain because you're asking him difficult questions. You're doing your job. And he's trying to explain. But on a national level, when you got when you got this many wins that was like we have right now, 9 wins, on a national level, you got that star on the side of your helmet. Everybody really trying to bring you down. They turned a non-guarantee into a guarantee, trying to put fuel in the tanks of the Washington football team. That was a non-guarantee. They turned it into a guarantee all over the country. And Ron Rivera, he just went and took it. I was like, man, so you got, when Jerry said about the receivers, that interception that Dak threw to the tight end, if the receiver just keep going a little bit more, Dak throws that ball a little farther over towards his left shoulder as he's running towards the sideline. Maybe that's not an interception. As soon as I saw that, I almost text y'all and said, that's what he was talking about. Because that went viral around the country. Now Jerry's saying it's the receiver's fault. And I got to answer this stuff. So y'all stop that. Y'all stop.
Are you going to come on here right? Are you going to come on here right now on the home of the Dallas Cowboys?
Y'all know the playmaker, boy. Y'all. I love it. I love it.
Boys, as our trusted friend and analyst, and tell us you're not worried about how Dak Prescott's playing?
Absolutely, I'm worried.
Okay.
But get this. Absolutely, I'm worried is such a strong word.
How often do players go through stretches every year like this?
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about these words we use too. Let's talk about these words worry. Am I wanting to improve? See, here's my problem. When we win,
appreciate
games,
the shot caller.
We should be sitting up there saying like we won, but here we're using words like worry. We should be saying, oh, absolutely. We won the game, so there's certainly things we need to improve on. Because those are the kind of words you use when you win. Certainly there are things we need to improve on. That's what you want to hear your locker. That's what you want to hear your locker. There's things we need to improve on. Now, when we win games, we shouldn't be saying, oh, there's things we need to fix. No, you fix things when you lose. Because fix is a whole different word. It's a whole different attitude and feeling through a locker room. So we got to start fixing these words. Everybody in the NFL is working to improve on certain things. But as long as they're winning, they're working to improve on. When you start losing, then you got to fix stuff. And fixing stuff is much more difficult. The Cowboys got to continue to work on improving things. And yes, that and the connection and getting the offense gelling back together like it did early in the season is part of what they have to work on. But you can say what you want, but I'm telling you right now, boy, we got a little time to work on with that defense. Boy, I've been looking. Boy, we got a little time. Boy, y'all remember? You remember when Micah Parsons was getting those sacks, and I said, wait till we come up with some kind of tornado package and put everybody on the field at the same time. You remember we talked about that? Boy, we saw that package. Oh, we saw that package.
Troy Aikman is one guy, but Micah Irvin make me want to put on that helmet over there. Woo!
Y'all got to tell the truth now. That package looked like something you want to see almost during there every play. Just keep that on the field.
Yeah, every play. Every play.
We'll deal with the fallout of it. Dude, I called this joker last night. He texted me back this morning because I guess maybe he texted me back 4:30 this morning.
Yeah.
Micah?
But Neville Gallimore, I called that joker last night. I'm ready to make that joker a start. Did you see him grab that center and say, listen, my man, I've been out for a while, and I have to show people I'm worthy. I'm going to have to take your butt right back to the quarterback. Just enjoy this ride. Ooh. And then he grabbed him. I was like, if he can give me a player or two like that again, I can make you the next Aaron Donald on TV. That's all I can do.
Aaron Donald.
They gonna eat that up. I told you guys. Michael Irvin way over here. Troy gonna be right down the center. But I'm gonna tell you, I believe if you turn hear me out, Cowboy Nation. If you turn off all of the cameras and unplug the audio to everything, Troy probably be just like Michael Irvin right there. You know what I'm saying? But Troy got to keep those lights on. He got to keep making sure. Troy got those daughters. He got to make sure those ladies are okay. You know what I'm saying? He got to keep the light on. Boy, the playmaker, boy, I can just listen to him all day, baby. Woo! Now, without a shout of a doubt, the Canadian monster, Gallimore, is hearing this right now. And he's like grinning. Now, we all know that ain't no Aaron Donald. But that word right there goes a long way, not a short way. Yeah, Mike is crazy. Shout out to you, Jametta.
On TV. Because that's what it looked like. That's what it looked like.
He took them both out.
Took them both out,
feelings.
Man. So, listen, let me ask you this. When, if ever, have we had a defensive tackle that could do that? I don't ever remember seeing it.
Jay Ratliff
that could do what I just saw.
Yeah. Ratliff was really good. Ratliff was really good here.
Yeah, Ratliff was good. Was good. But I don't know if Ratliff had that kind of power.
Glover and Leroy.
That's that Aaron Donald low base power. Like, dude, I told you not to come up 1/2 inch too much. Because if you come up 1/2 inch too much, I'm going to put you in the air. Yeah. That's what he did to that dude. He put him in the air. That center His kids saw that. When Dad said, didn't I tell you to clean up your room? I told y'all to clean your room. Said, hey, don't make us call that defensive player from the Cowboys. Okay, you don't have to clean up your room. His kids saw that. That's all I said.
Playmaker Michael Irvin join us here on 105.3 The Fan. Are the Micah LT comparisons fair?
Oh, yeah. Dude.
I told you. See, Troy was like, hey, it's too early, it's too soon right about now. It's unfair to LT. But when they asked the playmaker, number 88, the catalyst of the 90s, right? I mean, good gravy. He said, yeah, sure. You know, he gave a little slight pause. He gave a little slight pause, and he said, yeah. Let's rewind just a little bit. We ain't got nothing else to do right now. Watch.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I tweeted the other day. I said 9 sacks in 6 games. And because I threw out his name as in the MVP race, right? I said, what? We talking defensive player, Rick of the year, defensive player of the year. D-Roy, D-Ploy. I'm saying, maybe we ought to look at the MVP here. If the quarterbacks are this valuable, and you have 9 sacks in 6 games, and I cheated because it's really 9.5. I was just trying to do simple numbers for the general public to understand. So if you got 9 sacks in 6 games, and it's really 9.5 sacks, then you say, okay, what if I had? So you go 3 times that, which is 18 games. We really play 17 games, but just to make it easy math, man, you're looking at 27 sacks. That's MVP type stuff. That's MVP type stuff when you extrapolate it out. It is really 9.5 sacks. That's it. And now with this package we just talked about,
tornado.
This dude could go on a run that's why I say I'd rather play that defense all game. Let's just deal with it. Let's just line them up like that, put 5 across, and everybody go. We'll tackle the runner. We'll tackle the run on the way to the quarterback. I believe we can get some of that. And I'm telling y'all, look out because that's going to be a big part of it. Absolutely, he belongs on the LT calendar. And if he keeps going like this, I'm serious. He solidifies himself as an opportunity to go and get on that MVP race. What if he continues to get these kinds of sacks? Now that we've introduced this package, I want to see that going up, not down.
Jerry told us yesterday the defense right now is better than the offense. Can this defense carry the other side of the ball if they continue struggling like this, carry them deep into the playoffs?
He paused.
That what I saw. That what I saw the other day can carry a team. Can carry a team now.
Yeah. Against Washington,
Against the rest of this season. Against the rest of this season, and get us healthy and get us ready to go into the playoffs where things are going to get a little tougher. Right, you know what I'm saying? Right. Then you got to everybody has to carry their own load with the defense. With the defense having the possibility to be the star of the team. We started out thinking this was going to be the offense. The offense was going to be the star, but now the defense has that chance to be a star, be the star of the team. Which
I'm laughing at Natasha. She said, "Stuttering Stanley," because the playmaker, he know that he got to eat some of these words if it don't sell right. Now, in the hearts of hearts, I get it, and I know where he's coming from. Because I be wanting to say the same thing. But I'm quite sure that he got a slight reservation on somebody on his defense. But he's such on this side of it, right? And there's nothing wrong with it. That the fandom, is not going to get in the way. We're going to get in the way. You see, Troy, he already cerebral with it, and he's going to be like in the middle of it. But the playmaker. He can't help himself, baby. He's like us. I wish sometimes if I could just be a fly on the wall and just watch him. Just watch him. Watch the game. You know, that would be dope. Somebody need to make that happen. Man, we will pay money to watch, like the play-by-play analysis. We will pay some money put it like this, for to have him and Prime calling the plays. Oh my gosh. Or play-by-play, whatever. You know, him, Prime. Let's see who else we can throw in there. Who else kind of boisterous a little bit? Just him and Prime, huh? Nobody else.
Will blow
Charles Haley. No, we wouldn't have Charles up in now.
Things out the water. If you can get to a point where you are what I call 3FG, three-phase great, then you head into the other word called dynasty. 3FG is all 3 phases are great. That's how you head in the dynasty area. I'm not saying what
Nate Newton, yeah.
I'm just telling you what it takes to.
Yeah, Big Nate. Yeah, Derek. I would pay $150 per episode to listen. Like, real talk. On Sunday, I'll pay $150 to hear Prime, Irvin, and Big Nate. Marcus Spears, man, I got to kick him up out of there, man. Marcus Spears said he would love to see the Patriots and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the Super Bowl. He would pass up the Cowboys going just to see it one good time for the one good time. I said, nah, Spears, you up out of here now, you know. But I would flat out pay some money to see that happen. Let's go. I'm talking about Michael Irvin, Prime, and Big Nate Newton.
Get there. You see what I mean? We got a lot of credit back in the day for our offense, but we had a great defense. The defense was real. You know what I'm saying? And special teams with Kenny again, they were real. Everybody. We made stars on special team players. You know what I mean? That's what I mean when I say the 3FG. 3-phase great. You're a 3FG, 3-phase great team, then you head to dynasty. I'm not saying we're there, but I believe we got an offense we get right, we got a defense. Let's start doing those special things on special teams.
But what's wrong with the offense? What's wrong with the quarterback? How do they get it right? What are you saying?
How we get it right?
Well, Jimmy talked to you. Listen, even when we see Aaron Rodgers struggle or Tom Brady struggle, the greatest that ever played this game, the thing we go back to is we got to get them some support. We got, right now, just what Jimmy was talking about. Defenses are able to do a lot of things. They're bringing a lot of people up in the line of scrimmage. And Dak's trying to discern and decipher what he sees. And then everybody's dropping out. You don't know who's dropping out. You got to try to peg everybody who's dropping out, figuring out who's dropping out. And then the areas they drop in, the normal drops, they're mixing up their drops, you know, where they're supposed to drop. So Dak's trying to figure that out. Now, what Jimmy means when he says a good run game makes that easier.
Right.
So, dude, you can't start dropping out there so fast. You got to make sure that he ain't handing that ball off before you start dropping off. You know what I mean? Because the defense starts spending more time trying to stay up on the line of scrimmage, trying to figure out if this is a run. And that little second longer, Dak can discern it, and he can get rid of it. You see, that's what the running game does.
Okay.
To any defense, to every defense. That's why no matter how great the quarterback is, you got to have some type of a threat of a running game, or you're going to be in trouble. Ask Buffalo.
Wow.
You think he's healthy? You think Dak's health is an issue at all?
I do. I think I said this when he came back, and I didn't want to harp on it because we need him on the field more than anything. But I thought his gaits were different. I think he's healthy, but like any human, maybe hesitant because of what he's already gone through. You know what I'm saying? So healthy is a structural thing. That's a structural thing. That means structurally, I am fine. I believe structurally he is fine. Mentally, there's still things to overcome. That we rave and he deserve us raving about his comeback and how he's played in the comeback, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't mess with his head. The reality or the thought of going back to it, because I know how much it messed with my head after I came off that knee surgery, the reality or thought of possibly having to go deal with it again.
We got some more breaking news in here. An hour after it was announced that Kevin Stefanski tested positive, Baker has tested positive.
They may have a chance to win this game now.
According to Adam Schefter. Michael, COVID explosions everywhere.
Yeah, before they get into that, the mind, the war, the battle of the mind, by the renewing of the mind. You got to renew that mind, and I'm not going to get it all biblically with you, but it's about renewing of the mind, right? You got to change that mindset. That mind is powerful, baby. That mind goes a long way. And one of the favorite movies I've seen, beyond the Matrix, was Doctor Strange, believe it or not. We talk about the end game. We talk about, the Thanos and all of this stuff. But it would not be possible if it wasn't for Doctor Strange. That mind, right? Think about it. Think about it, Cowboy Nation. Think about it. Doctor Strange was the one that did everything. He had the thought of all of the possibilities, right? And he came up with one solution. If it wasn't for Doctor Strange, Thanos would have won. But the mind, right? Oh my goodness. Go watch the first Doctor Strange again, baby. Ooh. And that joker hand was like this. He couldn't pick up nothing. He probably couldn't even wipe his own backside, That man lost his powers with his hands, his physical. But it was the mind. Dr. Strange, the truth. I bet you somebody right now say, Lord, you know what? I'm finna go watch Dr. Strange when you get finished with this one. Watch that first one. Yeah, I love it. Hey, his boo thing in the beginning, she was right there by him. And he said something to her. And she said, hold on. I think this is the time you say I'm sorry. And then he said, nah, I think this is the time you leave. I said, no, you don't do her like that, dog. She was right there with you. She was right there with you. He hurt her heart. This is the time you leave. But Doctor Strange was a real good movie, and he did a pivotal role on all of those shows. And even, think about it, Ragnarok, whatever that one with, y'all got me talking Marvel now, but it's okay. We had nowhere else to go. With my guy Thor, it was Doctor Strange in that movie. He was bad, baby. He was bad. He showed Loki. I mean, he just messed Loki all the way up, man.
Yeah, that worries me. We talked about that last night on Inside the NFL. All these COVID explosions that's going on around here, and man, I hope we can get this under control, man. We're in the midst of a real good season here, real good something going on, even right here in Dallas. Got a lot of people right now, so I hope everybody's healthy and get healthy. But I hope they get this under control, because I just want to see the season finish out. I hope they get it under control.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike. We'll talk next week.
Oh, that was it?
Absolutely, guys. Got to win this game. And we'll win this game. And
yeah,
we just got to get it that.
What reasonable seeding are you worried about being in the 4 spot against the Rams? Like, how high up do you think they can reasonably get?
One game out, 48.
The Rams' first round is scary.
Scurry.
Yeah, but let me tell you why you don't know what's going to happen now. Because what you just asked. I mean, if I'm the 7th seed, I say I got a shot now. You don't know who's going to get COVID. You don't know who's vaccinated. All of this stuff that we talked about, that I talked about early in the year, that everybody cut my throat about.
Yeah.
Now is about to come reality. Oh, you know what I mean? So see, some of the guys that have gotten vaccinated, they'll get a chance to get back in time. Some of those guys that did get vaccinated, boy, they're going to miss so much time, And you don't know how that will affect each and every team. We can watch this closely. I guarantee you we'll be talking about it again next week on how some teams lost because they had them players missing from COVID. Teams you did not expect. That's why, absolutely, you keep fighting this battle for the home field.
Awesome stuff. Thank you, brother. We'll talk later.
All right, guys. And listen, man.
He
Stop
ain't never
cranking
leave.
that stuff up, man. Stop giving me work that I got to debunk and fight out in public, man. Y'all my boys, man. Y'all don't supposed to put that on me like that, man.
3 Fs.
Y'all stop that mess. Do simple interviews. Be good and happy and positive things. Like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Stop digging deep hard, all that old hard report stuff. Leave that stuff alone. Hey, stop with that Marty Griffin stuff. That's what I'm going to call it. The Marty Griffin stuff. You're coming up and you're making up stuff. Making up stuff. Stop it. Y'all ain't making it up. You know what I mean.
I know.
You know what I mean.
Thank you, Mike.
I love y'all, man. I love y'all, man. Y'all my boys.
Thank you. Michael Irvin.
Yeah, that's those boys over there, man. That was a good episode by those guys at 105.3 The Fan. We will post their content link in the description box shortly. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in to this episode. I got a couple more minutes here, but be sure to check out 105.3 The Fans here. There's their link right there, and you will see the podcast that we just listened to without me pausing and rewinding. Cowboy Nation, getting into rhythm is everything, and we must do that right now. We got 4 more games. I think that our defense is humming. We got to continue to keep on with that good pace. Cowboy Nation, just to take a little bit what Troy Aikman said, hey, get on the same page. Offensive line, continue to fight for your quarterback, and to take a piece of what Michael Irvin just lamented, tornado package, right? You know, let these boys continue to find ways to eat on the defensive side of the coin. Mix those two things together. We will be looking back at this thing and saying, y'all remember week 15? Y'all remember week 15? Cowboys had to fight against those Giants, and they ran it all the way up on those boys. And people fail to realize this, Cowboy Nation. That team back with the Patriots for a decade plus, they had to play against the Jets twice a year, the Miami Dolphins twice a year, the Bills twice a year. What you think they did in those games? Got into good shape as it relates to rhythm. So and then they always ran up the scores. You know, they didn't show. They said no mercy, baby. Show me mercy. No, it's doomsday, right? Lance Bell. They ran it up. You know, y'all like the song. You know when I say, you know. Yeah.
I just wanna run it up.
I just wanna run it up.
Huh? Really in the field, let up. Yeah. I've been really in the field, let up.
Yeah. Just run it up. So that's what this team must do. Must run it up. And that's right, Cowboy Nation. Let's see what we can do here. Bear with me, Cowboy Nation. Bear with me while I set this thing up right quickly.
Call my phone, hit my line. Only ones who down for
a few seconds.
Down for line. Keep it super thorough my way on this side. Keep it super thorough my way on this side. Call my phone, hit my line. Only ones who down for real, down for life. Keep it super thorough my way on this side. Keep it super thorough my way on this side. Mobbing with my brothers, there's no question, keep it real. Whether we East coastin' or we in the hidden hills. In the poppin' straps of blue faces, not the pills. Heard you callin' bluffs, I show and prove it, it's for real. Son of God, not a son of Sam.
657-390-7391. Turn me up.
Call my phone, hit my line. Only ones who down for real, down for life. Keep it super thug my way on this side. Keep it super thug my way on this side. Call my phone, hit my line. Only ones who down for real, down for life. Keep it super thug my way on this side. Keep it super thug my way on this side. Heard you moving funny, had to cut you off. Had some more friends like my brothers, I can't
Yeah.
trust you off. Same ones in your corner wanna see you fall. Now I only need a
Coach Marv, what's good?
What's going on? Listen, hey, Glo, I know you're trying to take a couple calls. Let me give you a couple of points here. Man, you are so spot on about, man, you took the words out of my mouth about what team hadn't had to run the ball, you know, be committed to the running the football to win Super Bowls. You can point out more of them than you can point out guys that just slung it around the yard. But let me explain something to you. I saw the final word yesterday, and you came up with such a great point yesterday about how we have failed in rushing from our rushing average from the beginning of the season, the first 6 games, until the last 6 games. But, Law, you got to look at one interesting stat on that. Our rushing attempts has fallen by 20 to 30%. So if you, let's say the last 4 games, we run the ball, except for the last game from the Washington football team, we did get back to 30 attempts, over 30 attempts. But the previous games before that, we averaged under 19 run attempts a game. And when we was on the stretch, when we was averaging 35 points a game, we was to run the ball on the average of 30 to 4 attempts a game.
Right.
So, and Dak was still getting his passes. But this is what I want to tell you. I understand, and this is the first game that TP was hurt, right?
Right.
I understand if Zeke is laboring, let's say, against the Raiders, against the Chiefs, against New Orleans.
Right.
But we didn't switch the running attempts that we had in the beginning of the season, where we had Zeke running 18 attempts a game, and Tony Pollard was getting between 10 and 11, and we were running for 150 some yards a game. But when Zeke went down, we just took it. We said, okay, in those games, we're giving Zeke in the last 4 or 5 games an average of 9 carries a game, but we still gave Tony Pollard 10 carries.
Oh wow!
So if we want to keep on rhythm, and we want to still be committed, yes, if Zeke is laboring and Tony Pollard is healthy. Now, I understand you gave 35 attempts, but we understand the backup running back that they got from the third string running back. He's not Tony Pollard. If we would have we need to, our target goal, if you watch how great our offense is, and you watch what Zach Martin said, stand on schedule a while back, keep us on schedule. That's what you're talking about, rhythm, staying on schedule. Our target for this offense to do well, if we got both our quality running backs, is 32 rush attempts a game. If we reach that target of 32 attempts, I ain't talking about 3 yards in cloud, 32 attempts, that still give Dak his 35 passes. That's not saying we just run it only. Right. But if we get to that target of 30 attempts in a game, you will see this offense get back in the rhythm. Anything in 19 or 20, it has historically been off rhythm. We may have some blowout games here and there, but he has historically been 30 to 32 attempts. That's the commitment that we have to commit to our running game. And understand that Zeke is healthy. His best yards in his whole career his most yards come from attempt 10 through 20. Big guy like that is not going to get those yards in 1 and 9. He just warming up. He's like a
no doubt, Coach.
He just warming up.
Coach, so like I said, I think we talked about this before. It's a mentality. You just don't wake up Sunday and say, hey, we're going to run it, right? It's a mindset that you must establish and exemplify through the weeks of practice and say, okay, we coming into this game, we're going to set the tone, we're going to set the physical mentality, and we're going to run the rock. Now, shout out to my guys, Vach Lombardi.
Can I tell you one other thing?
Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
When you set it, and I'm gonna tell you when you set a game plan,
right?
You have measures in your game plan.
Big facts. Yep.
And when they say they want to be on, and you have you plan the game plan based off what the opponent is giving you,
right?
And you change it, but you have a measure of these are amount of attempts I want to get in running. Now, I'm not going to just run the ball just right up the middle of this to be running the ball.
Big facts.
But I want to run 32. I want to have 30 attempts because I know when we get in the second half,
right,
those 2-yard runs are now going to be 8, 10 yards. I remember the interview. Do you remember the interview after what Kellen Moore said after the New England game? They ran the ball 35 times in the New England game. But he said that they were committed because they kept running Zeke because those yards were in the first half was 2 or 3 yards, but they started to get 6 and 7, and then that loosened up the passing game because you were afraid because the defense got tired and they had to load up even more because of the fatigue on that running game.
Big facts. Yeah.
We're running the ball in the first half, but we're not being committed enough to run the ball. Remember this, Law. If we get 30 to 32 attempts with those two backs, now I ain't talking about with Clemens,
right?
But we get 32 attempts with those two backs, the running game will be all right, and we'll be on schedule.
No doubt, Coach. Appreciate you so much for calling in.
All right, man.
Good call from Coach Marv. Always dropping us some gems over here. What I was going to say is, and he's right on the money with what he's saying too with that assessment. We got this group chat, Foots, Vach, Sky, and Okoye. We all in this group chat, and we was watching the L.A. Rams game versus the Cards. And we said when they got into the red zone, that looked familiar, right? These jokers line up in shotgun and do all of this fancy dancy stuff when they got the Power Eye there, they got some Pro Set there that's there, they got some slam options or what have you. But that is just the wave of the future. We like to look cute when we get into the red zone opportunity. Teams tend to shy away from just plowing it in and playing some of that old school traditional football. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that when we do it, we don't execute as much as we should. And on top of that, there's no threat of the run, period, with the Cowboys. We got to establish that one way or another. Even if you run the rock and it's the first quarter, the second quarter, and you're getting stopped, you're getting hit across your head left and right, and it may seem as if though you're getting nothing. But what Coach Marv just lamented in the third and fourth quarter, that's when the defense is getting tired. And there's not an offensive lineman on this planet that would say, hey, I prefer to be in pass pro. No, these offensive linemen love to run block. These offensive linemen love to get it out of the mud, as they say. But you got to formulate a plan of action to do such and keep it consistent. That's why when I pull up Collins' grade, let's pull up Collins' grade. And I know if you can use Next Gen Sports too, I guarantee you when you pull up Collins' grade, let me put a lot of your Collins. Give me 1 second. L.A. Collins, you see that it's so high in run block because that's what he loved to do. That's what he loved to do. 90 because that's what he loved to do. He's a mauler at heart. And there's not a single cornerback that wakes up one morning and say, hey, I'm willing to go through number 71 to get to Ezekiel Elliott or go through, 71 to get to Tony Pollard at the time. I know he's injured. Or go through 71 to get to Corey Clement on a consistent basis. Sometimes as a DB or even a linebacker, I'm sitting here like, yes, hallelujah. That boy is not coming at me. He's not being pulled and coming straight my way. I digress. Montana, what's good? You live from the 614.
What up, Long, man?
Into it, man. Talk to me.
Can't call it, brother.
What you got for it?
Hey, what the playmakers, what he was saying was real, man. It was all facts, man.
Yeah.
It was just facts. Everybody just need to relax, man. Like, we be all right, man. All right. We struggled. So did the Bucks. They won the Super Bowl.
Big facts, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All I gotta say is, man, Kellen Moore, man, I feel like you stink right now. You gotta get it together, bro. Because you the one that makes the offense go, for real, for real. Because you drawing up the plays, you calling the plays, you doing this. You see what the defense is doing before you give it to the quarterback. Then you let the quarterback make the other adjustments inside the game.
Right.
That's Dak's job. You know what I'm saying? Another job that people don't realize, the center is doing the calls too. He has to make the adjustment.
Right.
He's getting it from the line coach. The offensive line coach got to make the offensive line adjustments to keep the quarterback clean, the running back clean, build holes. They're not doing that. Nobody is in sync. That's because everybody was missing. So nobody is in sync. They got 4 games to clean it up. They be all right, man. That's all I got to say. I'm still saying go Cowboys. We 13-4 until proven otherwise.
My goodness, man.
Thanks for having me, Lord.
Anytime, my guy. That's Montana right there. That's my dog. All right. Thomas, you live from the 615.
What's up, Law?
Nothing to it, man. Everything is well over there?
Oh, yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. What I want to talk about, man, is, last week, I'm kind of disappointed. I was kind of disappointed because everybody was dogging the offense, and I get it. I get it. But nobody wasn't giving our defense kudos for the performance. Everybody was saying offense this, offense that.
Right.
But was nobody giving our defense credit for bailing us out? As a matter of fact, they won the last 2 games for us.
Right.
But I don't want to talk about that right now.
But you know what it is, Thomas? You know what it is? Old folks say a lot of people miss the meat worrying about the peas, They miss the main substance is that we got defense. And if you listen to what we said last night, especially what Big Game James said he wasn't even worried about it. He was more excited about this defense because if we pick up this defense and put it on the 2016 team, we win that game.
Right, and that's what I was trying to tell everybody on Facebook after the game Sunday. And, I want to give everybody a history lesson.
Yeah, let it go. Yeah. Give it to us.
I'm not going too far on what I'm about ready to say, but all 5 of our Super Bowl wins, our defense played a huge role. Our defense is coming together. Our offense is going to come around. You already know that, Law. You already know that. When both sides of the ball, when they gel and come around, Tampa Bay, the Rams, Cardinals, I don't care who it is. All I can say is goodbye. I'm telling you, when both sides of the ball start clicking, it's a done deal. It is a done deal, dog. I'm telling you now. You're hearing it from me. We have been waiting for the longest for this defense to come around like they did Sunday. If it continue and offense eventually turn around, ooh, man, you're going to be having live streams for about 4 or 5 hours.
No doubt, Thomas. I appreciate you so much for calling in, man. I thank you.
All right, brother.
It's my dog, man. It's my dog, Thomas. Garrett. We got. Let me lock it up.
The conference has been locked.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna lock y'all out. 337 DJ, you live.
Hey, what's up, Law Nation? You know it's your boy, man. The same guy that told you when we drafted Tony Pollard. I told you I went to the film. I looked at that kid, and I'm gonna unpack this for my Cowboy Nation. First of all, shout out to you for doing what you do. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate you, man.
Look, man, Tony Pollard has what every good running back gotta have, and that's balance. So let's just leave that on the table. I told you that when I looked at his film. I said, man, this kid, he ain't no easy out. He gonna be something special. And I told you, keep your eye on him. Now, what I wanna let my fellow Cowboy Nation know is this, man. Look, we've been spoiled for years and years and years, right? And we got to get off our high horse, and we got to get it like you kind of said. We got to get it out the mud. We can't wait for people to pat us on the back. You feel me?
Right.
I don't want our team to be that you paid to do your job. You do your job. That's what Parsons brings to the defense. This kid came in. He doesn't look at himself about his paycheck. He look at, hey man, I'm coming here to be great. Okay, so now I unpack that part about the defense because it's going to go as far as Parsons can help us get there. You feel me? And I think he's already established himself as a captain on that defense. You know, he leads by example.
Right.
Now let's unpack this whole thing about Dak Prescott. Man, you know, I've been looking at our quarterback, and I think everybody's missing something that could be going on with that.
What's that?
Lord, y'all been missing it, man. And I want to bring it to you, and I'm gonna let you talk on it. Dak Prescott has suffered tremendous loss in his life, man.
Right.
And we around the holidays. I don't know if y'all paying attention, man, but you know, his focus isn't there. That's evident. And I'm thinking, you know, this is me just thinking the scenarios. He lost his brother, he lost his mom, he lost his grandmother.
Right.
It's the holidays, man. You know, we got, hopefully, you know, I'm fortunate. I still have my mom that I can call when I'm depressed and when something going on with me. You know, and that's one of the biggest things that I'm worried about, Dak, because I'm looking at him, man, and I'm like, he's just rushing. He's not even going through his reads. He's sticking to one player. He already got his mind up who he's going to the ball with. He doesn't trust his legs as much. You know, he doesn't want to get hurt. So it's so much going on with him, and you know, I just want to ask you, do you possibly, have you guys possibly ever thought about that?
Yeah, I think we talked about this before, and you know, this world is such a it is what it is. You know, you throw everything at it, and the world do exactly this. It continue to spin, regardless. And I tell people all the time, this world will chew you up and spit you out. And everyone have a reason, but results are what matter. Nobody cares outside of the Cowboys organization what's going on with that man, right? The NFL didn't care and say, okay, well, we're going to draft you because your mom passed away. No, this world will chew you up and spit you out. Hero one year, a zero next year. If you just look at what's going on with the climate of this world, those who went into the battlefield as relates to the hospitals to work due to this pandemic. And just this year, just because they refused to get something that was mandated, because they went the whole year working in the battlefields, right? Going into work, masking up and putting all type of suits on, leaving there, going back home to their loved ones, right? And they survived the whole year. And now the world is saying, listen to me, obey, listen. We know what's right for you, right? and they chew them up and spit them up, firing people who've been on the job for 30 years, firing people who risk it all to work. It don't care. So regardless of what we may feel, what's going on with Rain Dakota Prescott, people judge you differently now that you got your coins. The expectation levels, $75 million is what people are saying. Although it's not coming out of their, I say, pockets, right? But they want to pocket watch you. But that's all I have to say, man. We're going to let these other callers get in. But that's my thoughts. Dak Prescott got to snap back because we can defend him to the high. He going to. But that's why I say this is the rhythm game. And hopefully he'll get that done this weekend. Appreciate you for calling in, fam.
All right there, man. You keep doing what you're doing, Law.
Appreciate you.
Salute.
Yeah. Is this Antoine from the 717?
Law.
What's good, fam? What's good with you?
What's up, man?
Nothing to
I
it,
told
man.
you, Law. I told you. 10 sacks, right?
Oh, yeah. Sheesh. Hey, man, what those lottery numbers are, man? Can you give them to me, man? You know, remember I just said the world don't care, you know, but if I can get that millions and millions of dollars, what's good, man?
Man, I'm good. And man, Skywalker, he's my homie son, man. Yo, that's crazy, man.
Oh wow,
that's crazy, yo. Yeah. Hey, man, Dak gonna be all right. I just heard the other caller, man.
Right.
Dak straight.
He's straight.
Dak straight. That's middle season slump. Dak straight.
Right.
And as far as with the running game, remember the Bills? The Buffalo Bills.
Right.
And they had Reed and all of them. That's all we need to do, man. Kellen Moore just need to use his talent around him.
Right.
You could. When the last time we ran a sweep?
CD Lamb, average 7.5 yards.
Yeah,
last
but
game.
what happened to Cedric Wilson and all of them? He needs to use his talent, man.
Well, I'm gonna savor some of that for tomorrow. But there is a little conspiracy theory that's going on with this, you know, with them, you know, playing coy.
He's not using it, man, and the college system that he came from, and he's an offensive guru. Come on, man, use your talent. You got the talent. But that gonna be all right. I love you, Law. I just wanted to tell you, Parsons got them 10 sacks.
You're right, bro. Appreciate you, man.
All right, fam.
Yeah. Somebody said, Michael says, us fans pay Dak Prescott's salary. No. We might think we do, but that salary comes out of a salary cap that we pay with only emotions. At the end of the day, you can say, okay, I bought a jersey, I went to the game, or I turned it on a certain channel and I was watching it. No. We're not physically pulling into our savings and paying these quarterbacks out there. And just like when he get paid his money, he's not giving it back to us. But the only thing that we got, like I said, are emotions and feelings on the line, right? Jerry Jones said he never missed a game since he bought this team. And I'm quite sure, you know, that's a wonderful feeling, right? He bought the team, meaning that, hell, I was a fan of the Cowboys longer than Jerry, believe it or not. He might have been around football longer than me, but I was a fan of the Cowboys before he bought the team. But neither here nor there. 615, you're live.
What's up, Law Nation?
Nothing to it, fam. Talk to me.
Man, same time call, this Abyssinian Prince calling again. First off, I want to say I ain't scared of the New York midgets.
Right.
I want to get that out the way. And second off, I want to point this out because I haven't heard you, Voch, Foot, or my man AZ pull this out. But last year around this time, Tampa Bay was a spitting image of Dallas this year because Tom Brady didn't have the most impressive numbers his last few games of the season. Actually, Tom Brady didn't really wake up to that second game in the playoffs, but his defense was so tremendous that it didn't matter. Right. And this is the thing I want to get out to Cowboy Nation that's listening to you and everybody else. I feel that we worry too much about the small things and not look at the amazing things that we got here. This is a special team. We got the right coaches in place. And I think the stars is in line.
Right.
And I think we need to be appreciative for whatnot. And, be easy on Dak. Dak is just a man at the end of the day. He make a lot of money, but he's still just a man. He got some things going on personally with him that he's working on. But at the end of the day, we're gonna be right. We're gonna be all right. And I think if the defense stay electrified, then I know the offense is gonna wake up and match the defense. So I think at the end of the day, we just need to relax, stay cool, and enjoy our wins. And that's it. That's all I gotta say.
You spit some good stuff, but I got to say this, though. This team is always under the microscope. When Tom Brady was going through his thing, he had a torn meniscus in his knee, right? And that was pretty much under the radar. It wasn't news reporting. It wasn't like day in and day out. ESPN, First Fake, and all of those other episodes, not doing 3 episodes on that. They still was talking about Andy Dalton and the Cowboys, believe it or not. And that's just how crazy this world is. So what happening is that everybody get a chance to see us when we slip, right? And when we getting back up, they get to do their analysis and break it down. But other teams slip too, just like the L.A. Rams. The last 4 games, they was 1-4 out of the last 4. They went through a mini slump, but nobody was talking about it.
No, not at all.
That's crazy.
That is.
But I appreciate you, man. And thank you so much for calling. What else? You got another point?
Stay up.
No, appreciate you.
That's it. I'm done.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you from the 615. But you guys get what I'm saying when I say that. What's the saying? If a tree falls in the forest, what was the rest of that? Y'all can complete it for me. 904, you're live.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Not much, Daryl, man. I'm holding it down, man. Talk to me.
Hey, man, Dak is going to be all right.
Oh, yeah.
And if people worried about him, do what you do best. Pray for him. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Right.
That goes a long way. But I heard something this afternoon. Mike Fisher said Jerry Jones thinking about moving everybody and, separated in the hotel. No more going home. And if he don't, I think Roger Goodell, they should think about some kind of bubble, because it would be sad to go in the preseason, to the playoffs, and you start losing players.
Right.
Figure it out just like the NBA did.
How many players on the NBA team?
How many what?
How many players and coaches on the NBA team?
Oh, I know. I understand what you're saying.
Right.
It's not as big as
football team.
Goodell getting paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
But we're gonna be okay. That defense is gonna rise. Dak will figure it out.
Yeah. I think that's what Dak been doing. If we can just give this man another longitude and latitude, that grace, right? That other players were able to go through and get that little grace period to get back on the horse. Yep. Man, this team can go far, DT. But it just. And I do like the idea for what Mike Fisher said that Jerry said, right? I do like that idea. Yeah. I like the idea of the bubble, but that's a lot of players. It's a lot of players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta do something though. We're gonna be all right. I see this defense is gonna kill it for it. Ooh, everybody gonna be scared to play us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And something you said about a couple of weeks ago. I want to see the Rams. I want a rematch of Connor Williams and Aaron Donald.
Oh yeah.
I want to see the damn Rams.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, man.
I want that game.
Oh yeah.
Dak said we're gonna play Tampa, but I want to see the damn Rams. I want to see both of them. Right. I don't care who we're going. We're going up there. But I definitely want to see the Rams, because Aaron Donald's got something. He want revenge, and he's gonna get embarrassed this time again.
No doubt. Let's go. Appreciate you
good
for calling
talking to you, man. I know you got other callers.
All right, you was the last one, by the way, and I appreciate you.
Okay, anytime. Yep. All right.
That's good.
Talk to you later.
That's Daryl right there, man. Great caller. I really appreciate those who wanted to jump in, but
Goodbye.
Time is tissue, as they say over here. And got to get the little ones to bed. It's 9 o'clock. You know how this thing goes. Got to be daddy duties over here. But for those who called in, be sure to check out the next episode, and we can get things going that way. Right, Cowboy Nation. Mavs, Lakers popping. Shout out to you, Knicks. Appreciate you. Cowboy Nation, I really appreciate each and every last one of you all for tuning in. This is the necessary game. Let me see if I can turn my phone line thing off. Yeah, y'all bear with me. Here we go. All right. Cowboy Nation, necessary game to get back in rhythm time. Got to get to the beat, dance to the beat. The defense still humming. I think the defense is looking at this like, oh, yeah. Hey, we finna eat, baby. We finna eat. But the offense need to be looking at this saying, hey, we finna get into rhythm. That is right, Anthony Gallup. What's up, Lockout again. Appreciate you, Gallup. The phone lines are closed. If you try to call in, I appreciate you, though. Cowboy Nation. For those that's in here, man, I know you guys are real ones. I really appreciate it. If you subscribe today, I thank you so much for being part of this episode, and your name will forever go down in the history of time, right? When you see your name there. If you're on the Facebook group, I thank you for the stars. I thank you for your love and adulations. Thank you for sharing. Sharing is caring, by the way. As we wrap up, we're going to go over this one more time. The New York Giants, 29th in offense, 28th overall, 26th in defense, 31st in special teams. And the Cowboys, 9-4. We second in offense. I think this is our second time this year of being ranked second in offense. 3rd overall, 14th in defense. This is one of our lowest numbers at defense, believe it or not. I think we climbed all the way down to 10th ranked at one point of time of this season. But for us to even be at 14th, that's a long, long, long journey from last year, right? We was 31st, 32nd, respectfully, last year. And 17th ranked in special teams. That's just neither here nor there. Cowboy Nation, let's get back on it. Moments like this, that defining moment that separates you from one movement to the next, can happen just like that. Momentum is crazy. How avalanche just all of a sudden, or a mudslide all of a sudden, gravitational pull pushes everything off. It becomes unstoppable. The water, when it faces the dam, when it penetrates, and when the dam breaks, it becomes unstoppable. Beautiful moments just like this, Cowboy Nation. Other teams faced, right? But we got to continue to fight. We got to continue to grind. We got to continue to turn things around. Moments, dedications of the nation must be delivered right here against those Giants. You see, earlier this year, the Giants probably looked at the schedule and said, oh, we're going to give the Cowboys all that we got. But they're not able to. Even when they're Maine and Mall, it's our time. Can't nobody stop it. But Lord, what about this or that? Don't matter. The fortitude of your heart, soul, and sinew matters not how straight the gate or how charged the punishment with thy art strong. I am the master of my faith. I am the captain of my soul. Right? And right now it's time for us to stand tall and not fold up like a wallet or a lawn chair. I tell people all the time, how bad do you want it? If you want it bad enough, you'll go out there and fight for it. To work day and night for it, to give up your time and your peace and your sleep for it. If all of your desires of it makes you quite mad enough that you don't get tired of it. Come on, Cowboy Nation, where are you? Stand tall. If dogged and grim and besieged and beset it, with the help of Almighty Cowboy Nation, guess what? If you're locked in, like Stephen White says, you will get it. Refocus your mind, Cowboy Nation. It's here. It's time to turn up. Let's continue to grind and shine. I really appreciate you guys for this moment of time. Let's go. Oh, yeah, I disregard Jimmy Johnson's statement, you know. I love Jimmy. Come on.
Nowadays, nothing really is.
Jimmy, he's a real one. You know, I get what he's saying. I get the philosophy and the thought track of what he was saying, too, by the way. And now it's time to roll. Ready. Yeah. Come on.
Producers saw the numbers one.
Once.
Different colors in my baggy light.
Yeah.
Chalk it up. Talk of the town where you're talking up. Wanna get you a ring and you tough enough. Wanna get you new things for your pockets dull. Run it up. I used to be quiet and out of luck. Now I move up and move humble cause they hating the
lock in, Cowboys Nation.
Nowadays,
yeah, tell them, Trail. Come on.
Yeah. Phone ringing and I tell them it's I got wifey on bling and she freeze. Photo.
Come on. Stephen White, number 21.
Please, no photos.
Yeah.
I keep giving game away.
Oh.
I put game on layaway. I got paid to play today.
Come on.
I get paid to stay away. I get paid on rainy days.
Yeah.
I might make it rain today. I got paid off pain today. Thought it'd take the pain away. In my own lane, finger roll. I would never sell my only soul. Heard your whole team was for sale.
I guess my credit button is broke.
Who the realest, we might never know.
Come on,
all this acting, you gon' play a role. Give you the world when they sign you up. Try you out and then they line you up. Ooh, now you're looking.
Come on.
Ribs are touching, need some food.
Hey.
Now you're all on live acting surprised, but you was fooled. Boy, get out the way, it's been a day, now you're old news. Now you got the pen and paper trying to take my moves. Nowadays, nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell them it's I got wifey on bling and she freeze. Photo. Please, no photos. No. G's. No. Please, no photos. Nowadays, nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell them it's I got wifey.
Shout out to you, Sadiqua. Hey.
Can we check or something?
Check or something. Appreciate everybody that's here.
I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Run it.
Don't need no deals, I make the deal. I
Come on.
take it to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Run it.
Yeah.
Run it.
Kinda check the song.
Run
Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Yeah.
Count that too, count it up. Yeah. Count it up. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Yeah.
Need them ones, I
Come
need
on.
them fives, need them tens, I need that change. To the safe, got blues inside.
Yeah.
Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses when I play. Charge it to the game. I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T Black, I'm with Rabbit now.
Come on.
I'm with Bay, yeah, I'm with J, yeah, I'm with Chuck and now. Still the same, not switching sides.
He needs some milk.
You switch sides off for the bag, and that's worth more to me.
Come on.
I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling
If you're watching all the way to this point and you're not subscribed and you didn't hit that share button, come on.
I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. I
Come
have
on.
to take it to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
If you're watching and you're not able to comment right
Kinda check
now,
the song.
that's because you're not subscribed to the nation.
You must be out your goddamn mind.
Come on.
That's who count it up. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah. I just be off the dome. I never own no chrome.
Come on.
Too many foes and clones. I be at home alone. I be in zones alone. I be on road alone. Yeah. I've been really in the field.
Come on, baby.
I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal.
Let me say.
To a meal.
Let me see. Put 9 and 4 in the chat. If we are 9 and 4, put 9 and 4 in the chat. Come on. Hey.
Count that too. Count it up. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Fatality.
Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Oh, somebody got it. They Teddy folk. Come on.
Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Hey, yo. Come on. I love this. You see these songs relax my soul, my spirit, my mind. It do. I'm gonna grab me a glass of wine. Shout out to the Zippendales.
Take a drag of my cigarette. Breathe me out. Breathe you
Yo, come on. Little red box wine if you do that. Yeah.
Take a bite of my burger, baby. Save the last bite for you. For you. Don't let the street lights hit you all alone.
Shout out to the Moscatos.
You know it's dangerous to go alone.
If you're a Moscato drinker, let me know.
Don't let the street lights hit you. Can I be your player too? I'll follow wherever you go.
Come on.
Whatever you do.
Let's go.
Player too.
Shout out to you. The Sweet Italian AM. Okay. Lake 455. I'm going to have to check that one out. Shout out to you, Deontay Cole. Yeah. Shout out to all the mods.
Don't let the street lights
Hit you all alone.
You know it's dangerous to go alone. Don't let the street lights hit you.
Watch the street lights. Ice flavored water. Williams. Yeah. I love that one. The ice flavored water. Brought to you by Raw Nation.
Then forever doesn't feel that far. So far.
And remember,
So far.
you're drinking ice
Ice.
from Law Nation.
Then forever doesn't feel that far.
5 turnovers.
So far. If a paper grain can fly. Fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on.
High quality H2O. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. We up out of here. No doubt.
Tell them run it
Yeah,
on.
tell them.
I wake up.
Huh?
I wake up, thumb down now. No drip, this. Tell them run it on. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it on. I wake up.
D.I. Love.